Welcome back, welcome back. So, I found another movie, and it sounds so ridiculous that I said, yeah, I definitely gotta put this one up there because, we don't actually live in a world like this, but we live in a world like this. Um, so I guess we would say, could you survive being equal?
2081. The story is set in the year 2081. What? What do you know? Where humans' quest for equality has reached obsessive levels. The US has become a dystopian society where everyone is equal in every field. No
Sound familiar?
one is allowed to be smarter, better looking, faster, or stronger than the others. This was made possible because of the relentless vigilance of the dictator ruler named Handicapper General. Several extreme measures are taken so that
Oh, because of a woman becoming president.
no one has any kind of advantage over their fellow citizens. For example, the strong are forced to wear weights around their body to counter their physical superiority. That's going to make them stronger. The intelligent wear earpieces which regularly fire high-frequency noise that dulls down their intelligence to that of the average person. That's just going to make them crazier. And similarly, beautiful people wear masks in public places to hide their attractiveness. That's just going to make people want them more. The scene that
Yeah. Yeah. Because there's no such thing as equal.
shifts to the Bergeron household, where Father George and his wife Hazel are watching government-sanctioned ballet on their TV. It features ballerinas heavily weighed down to ensure they are only as graceful as the average person. George also wears an earpiece and heavy weights to counter.
So, the only way to be equal is to be average, to be weak. You know? Because as soon as you go above the average, which is everyone else, then, you know, you're cheating. You're cheating the rest of us.
His intelligence and strength, respectively. On the other hand, Hazel is perfectly average in her physicality and capable of only carrying thoughts in short bursts. She therefore wears no weights or other government-sanctioned handicaps. It is revealed that 6 years ago, their son, Harrison, was forcibly arrested. A SWAT team from the office of the Handicapper General barged into their home and took the 14-year-old boy. It turns out Harrison was exceptionally strong, intelligent, handsome, and clearly stood out among normal human beings. Therefore, the government took him to a correction camp.
Imagine that. You look better than most people, so you gotta go to a camp. The fuck?
So that his natural advantage could be eliminated. Stop being hot, you little asshole. In the present day, George gets flashbacks when he tries to think about the event, but every time he tries to recall exactly what happened, a sharp frequency is shot from his earpiece. This causes him immense pain, and it resets his memory. He then continues to watch the drab ballet, which requires no analytical power. As for Hazel, she has absolutely no recollection of their son's arrest. She's mostly nonchalant and dull, offering little help in the household chores. Suddenly, the regular ballet telecast is interrupted by a government news report. It is being read by an anchor with a severe speech impediment who stutters on every third word. This causes the broadcast to stop for a while, but despite the horrendous effort, Hazel feels that the reporter did his best to present the news. She even suggests that he should be given a raise for his dedication towards his job.
Exactly, he's trying so hard.
She then heads towards the kitchen to wash the dishes, leaving her husband alone in the living room. Moments later, another anchor arrives on screen to continue the news broadcast. This anchor has taken off his earpiece and speaks fluently. He reads a report about Harrison Bergeron, an anarchist who has escaped from police custody. The reporter adds that Harrison was arrested 6 years ago for online piracy, refusing to report his quarterly disability assessment, and removing his handicaps in a public place. Despite the fact that Harrison was under tight security, he miraculously disappeared. The reporter advises the public to be aware of him, as he is a genius and an athlete who is extremely dangerous. While George is listening to the news, Hazel is unable to hear it.
if everyone's kept, dumb, what's being a genius? Oh, yeah, a little above average or average. Because I doubt these people are being kept with average smarts.
In the kitchen. The reporter then urges the public to contact local authorities if they see Harrison nearby. After this, the news concludes and returns to the regularly scheduled ballet. Just then, the ballerinas as well as the people watching through TV hear loud stomps approaching the stage. It is none other than Harrison Bergeron, a towering man who is strapped with huge weights all over his body. He marches down the aisle and leaps onto the stage with a heavy thud. It seems like he's unhindered by the weight of his massive handicap. Seconds later, he begins to address the audience in the theater and those watching at home. Harrison gains their attention by claiming to have a remote-controlled bomb under the stage. He then introduces himself and urges everyone to embrace their differences rather than suppressing them. Meanwhile, Hazel is still washing dishes in the kitchen, completely unaware of the happenings on television. On the other hand, George and the theater audience watch in awe as Harrison peels off the weight from his chest. He then asks the musicians to throw their handicaps and play to the best of their abilities, while he makes his pecs bounce and his nipples dance. Following this, Harrison asks a ballerina to come forward and perform without any of the government-sanctioned handicaps. He wants to show the world that some people are simply better than others at specific tasks. They should be admired, even enjoyed, and not suppressed to make everyone exactly the same. A ballerina is moved by his speech, and she decides to volunteer. She comes forward and removes her masks and waits, as Harrison had asked. He then takes her hand, and for a few brief moments the two dance unhindered. It is so beautiful that the audience watches, spellbound by the pair's elegance. However, the enforcers of the Handicapper General are desperate to keep this display under wraps. A large number of police officers surround the theater and cut the video feed to the television audience. The Handicapper General herself marches down the aisle with a shotgun, but Harrison is 2 steps ahead of them and pushes the button of his remote control. He has fooled everyone into thinking that there is a bomb under the stage. In reality, his remote sends a signal to a device that restarts the television broadcast. He then looks into the camera with a proud but slightly somber smile. At the Bergeron household, George...
Why do you think he did that? Why do you think he tricked everybody into thinking he has a bomb and then said, be free? It's a right to be different. And people shouldn't be mad at other people for being better or more beautiful, because you're the one that gets to judge. Get it? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, people looking are the ones judging. So when you get mad at the more beautiful person, like, fucking people, you gotta realize everyone looked at you too and they judged you. Be mad at them for saying you're ugly. Be mad at them for not giving you free shit, if that's what you think is happening. Be mad at them because they're lighthearted, or be mad at the people that are like you. Unless that person treats you like shit for looking ugly, then I understand.
Miles back at the television, unaware that the video feed is again being broadcast. The Handicapper General fires the shotgun. She kills Harrison and his ballerina on the spot. Soon after, the SWAT team leader approaches her and informs her of their mistake. This leaves the Handicapper General distraught, and it finally dawns on her that her gruesome act of oppression has been broadcast for all to see. At home, George stares heartbrokenly into the television as the signal is again blocked. His train of thought is then broken by the screeching of his headset. This causes him to revert back to normalcy, and the memories of his son's heroic sacrifice are completely wiped out. 6-shooter. The second story opens in a hospital where...
Hope you guys enjoyed that. Give you something to think about. I'm sure a lot of people, because the Lord makes most people average, and then, sprinkles in a little, whatever he sprinkles in, right? And we live in a world now where a lot of normals are complaining and trying to make everything so fair. But to truly make things fair would mean everybody has to be weaker. Because if you're not better, if you're not stronger, then you can never get up to that strength. So to be equal, stronger people have to play on your level, which still won't make you the best. So you'll just be normal all together, and you'll all be the best. And everything will be boring, because everything will be done average. No more great fucking long king runs in sports. No more epic movies. No more epic anything. Everything has to be equal. So that means no happiness. You get it? The happiness is that you can have in this life, but you overlook. That's all taken away now. Because you're a little ugly, but you're strong. So you're getting the weights. Get it? So now that you have the weights and you have your face, or where you get it, now when you want to go on dates and shit, who wants to date the guy that has the ugly face and you have the chains on your body? So now you got to get yourself weaker. Get it? You got to get yourself in shape anyway. You're forced to now. Or you're going to drag those fucking chains around. Don't get too physique. Don't make your physique, don't get too healthy. Because then you got to put the chains back on. And don't learn things, because then you're getting a headset. So for all the, average people that, can get above average looking people because of their brains. They may not have the most beautiful face, but they work on their body. So that is beautiful, because everyone's body can, get to a healthy state and look good. And since everybody likes different shit, someone's going to think you're perfect. Get it? But that can't happen anymore. Because it's not fair. You two are really in love. So you's got to break apart. You're having more love and fun. You're having better sex than everyone else. So we're going to have to give you some fucking sedatives to dull down your sex drive or something. You get it? See, it'll go into everything. And then when everybody realizes the only way to be equal is to be boring as fuck, docile and dumb, then everybody will really understand, nah, I don't want to be equal no more. I like the advantages I have. I like the freedoms that I have. I accept not being equal. So I can live my own life. To be equal means you have to live the same exact life. Like it said, no one gets paid more than each other. To be equal means no more dressing up. You can't have a style. It better be the style that everybody else is going to get. Get it? No more culture. Nobody cares about where your people came from. Nobody want to hear that shit, Sharif. You just came from Earth. Nobody want to hear about your fucking stories of your gods and your fucking none of that. We don't hear none of that shit. But my great-great-grandmother, it's actually nobody wants to hear that shit. Sharif. Take that shit up the block. And that's it. Then people will start understanding, when they thought police your ass. That's why I'm glad I live in the world we live in now, where, you know, people still kind of understand, and, you know, we don't force each other into these situations. Hopefully, things like that'll never happen. That'd be such a boring world. I know things ain't perfect, but I don't think things were meant to be perfect. That's what makes it perfect. I think that's why the Lord did it the way He did it. So we can find the beauty in each other. Not just worry about the surface. Some things are deeper than skin. Some bonds are deeper than blood. Or love, or praise to the Most High.